Here we go. Okay, we're on the ball. Watch the check down.
Yeah.
There it is. Alright, Caleb, we gotta be legacy. 54 seconds is enough, though, thank God. We just need a field goal, but... Watching that DJ, I'm thinking about, what was it, the Packers game? Where we had that big DJ over the middle.
Yeah.
Strike.
Yes! Go! 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 Yeah! Yeah! Oh my God! I mean, that was the field goal right there.
Yeah.
That's a... I can't believe he spun away from that and took it.
That puts Caleb at 20 for 34, 280, 3 touchdowns.
No picks.
114 rate.
They can't do that.
Oh shit. Not even letting him get
Impressive.
off.
Yes.
It's short. Short!
Yeah.
Next
Yeah.
off.
That's it. Okay.
Oh my God.
What a ballsy call.
Oh. See what happens when you rush the quarterback on a Hail Mary? What did I just watch? What did I just experience? What the hell was that? I probably have lost 5 years of my life watching this team. What did I just witness? What did I just witness? What was that? Oh my God, that was the game of the year. And the Bears won it. I don't know how. They found a way to do it after a colossal collapse. But they still won. I can't keep doing this. Oh, how did that happen? Oh, that was unreal. Here we are again. Here we are again, guys. The Bears won a ridiculous game. Again. With the game down the line. Caleb Williams leaves the game-winning drive again. The Bears win! They win! 47-42 over the Cincinnati Bengals. What did I just witness? That was unbelievable. What a game. Defense was non-existent on both sides, clearly by this the fact that it's 47-42. The Bears won a game by scoring 47 offensive points when they needed to. It wasn't just they absolutely decimated the opponent. It was the defense was so atrocious. They allowed 42 points, and our offense ended up scoring 47. Oh, God. This offense is coming into this one off of a very poor showing against a Ravens defense that has not been very good this season, but was starting to get healthy with guys like Roquan Smith coming back. The thing is, they're going up against the worst defense in the league this time. They should have showed out. They should have had a great day. And they did. 47 points offensively. 6 offensive touchdowns. Haven't seen that out of a Bears offense since Trubisky threw 6 touchdown passes against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2018. I already know what some of you are about to say. Well, it's a bad defense, or a really bad defense. They should beat them. They should beat them badly. I'm not impressed with this win. I don't give up participation trophies. 5-3 is not good enough. They need to get to the playoffs and win a playoff game for me to want Caleb Williams to stick around next year. Shut up. Oh my gosh. Please just shut your trap. Because I don't care who it's against. 280 passing yards for 3 touchdowns, no picks, a near 115 passer rating, 50 rushing yards, and 2 receptions, one of them going for a touchdown. So let me get this straight. Over 350 total yards of offense from the Bears quarterback, from a Bears quarterback with 4 touchdowns, total touchdowns, including the reception one. And you're still disappointed or not impressed? I don't care who it's against. That's an exceptional performance. because that's what the greats do. They beat up on the bad teams offensively. Now, can Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson's offense control whether or not the defense and the special teams allow 42 points? No, that's not something they control. They can control what happens when they go out there. And they scored on all but 3 possessions today. They had 2 possessions that didn't cross midfield. The entire game. And they were both 3 and outs. Like, I mean, I don't know how you're disappointed with this offensive performance. It doesn't matter who it's against. You play who's in front of you. You don't choose your opponents. That's what it's scheduled for you. You don't control who's being thrown out there for the other team. That's not something you can control. What, could the Bengals have controlled the fact that the top 2 corners for the Chicago Bears were out and this secondary's been burnt toast the last couple weeks? No. And guess what? They attacked it relentlessly. Joe Flacco threw for 470 yards. It's a career high against this Bears team. This secondary is not good right now. And it's because we're starting Nashawn Wright, Tyreek Stevenson, Nick McLeod. And even then, with the addition of C.J. Gardner-Johnson, this secondary was still burnt toast because guess what? The Bengals have 2 of the top 10 receivers in the league, in my opinion. T. Higgins was an absolute spark plug. Jamar Chase was really good despite being locked up for good portions of the game. Still had over 100 yards. That, I knew those 2 guys were going to have big days because this secondary is terrible. It's bad. They're getting them one-on-one coverage, and they're just chucking it up to them, and they're coming down with it almost every time. Do you want the Bengals? Does that, put an asterisk next to Joe Flacco's total yards and performance that it was against a bad secondary? I don't think it should. Because 470 passing yards in the NFL is 470 passing yards in the NFL. Not many guys are doing that, and especially not guys who are 40. So you got to give credit where credit's due. Joe Flacco was a very good quarterback in this game. But he did end up turning the ball over 3 times, which does hinder the performance quite a bit. But, if we sit here and say Joe Flacco torched our secondary and was a really good quarterback today because he threw for 470 yards, ignoring 2 picks in the 4th quarter, yet we're having the magnifying glass on Caleb Williams, who threw for 280, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Oh, and he caught a touchdown, and he rushed for 50 yards. I mean, it's this... What are we even doing here? Listen, I'll put it this way. If your main takeaway from this game, where the Bears won 47-42, is, I'm not sold on the quarterback, you're not watching these games in the right way. In my opinion, at least. And you can ignore my opinion all you want. I just think that it's kind of ridiculous to look at this game as solely on the quarterback and not focusing on the fact that our running back, who we drafted in the 7th round in his first career start, rushed for 175 yards. We had a rookie tight end go for over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, one of them being the game winner. Because there are 52 other players on a football roster. 21 other starters, in fact, actually. So how about instead of lasering in on one player's performance, granted I know it's the most important position in quarterback, how about we take the negative energy we're throwing because they didn't win the way that you wanted to and throw it to a positive way, saying, hey, the offense scored 47 points. I know it's a bad defense, but hey, 47 points is 47 points in the NFL. We had a rookie running back that just, in his first career start, just ran for over 170 yards. We had a rookie tight end who we selected 10th overall do largely nothing this season. He hasn't had nearly the volume as a guy picked 4 picks after him, and he's gotten a lot of criticism. He showed up today with 6 receptions for 118 yards and 2 touchdowns. Oh, by the way, one of them was the game winner. Let's direct that negative energy and turn it into positive vibes. Because guess what? Being a negative Nancy and a Debbie Downer makes you just insufferable and really frustrating to talk to. And I try not to be that. I think that there are several times where your immediate reaction is definitely trying... and I understand that type of stuff happens. I've had it happen before where I just can't take away anything positive. But those are usually after losses. They're after bad losses where the team loses by 30 points or they lose in a heartbreaking fashion. It's like, that's where the Debbie Downer in me comes out. Not after they win 47-42. Are you kidding me? Why are we so grumpy in this fan base? Oh my gosh. We're not we haven't had a history of winning in the last 25 years. We're not the Steelers. We're not the Patriots. Hell, we're not even the Packers. I'm sorry. Just the negative energy that I catch from this fan base drives me up a wall. I've never seen a fan base more frustrated that their team is 5-3 a year after going 5-12 in my life. Oh my gosh. They've matched their season total last year in 8 games. Why are we still unhappy? Anyways, let's talk about literally everything else. Because while I will give a lot of praise to Caleb Williams, I want to give more praise to other players on this team because everyone's going to be talking about Caleb Williams this week, as they always do. He gets so much press just for existing. He doesn't have to play a good or a bad game. He just gets so much press for existing. So I'm going to talk about pretty much everyone else. And we're going to start with the 7th round pick from Rutgers, Kyle Monangai, getting his first career start and absolutely tearing it up, dude. He was awesome in this game, and I love to see it. 26 carries, 176 rushing yards, 3 receptions, 22 receiving yards. This guy has been a dog. I mean, seriously, this guy does not go down. He only got a couple of carries the first couple weeks. But out of the bye, he's been a more significant part of this running game. And it really shows because DeAndre Swift's getting a little bit more as well. It feels like they're running the ball very well. And I think Monangai had the best game of a Bears running back so far this season. I know DeAndre Swift played really well against Washington, but I think Kyle Monangai, even though he didn't score a touchdown, was amazing. I mean, this guy was an absolute workhorse today. He was falling forward. He did not go down on first contact at all, it felt like. It was unreal. It felt like he was getting at least 3 yards after contact every carry. It took 2 or 3 guys to bring him down every time. And I love seeing that. Hey, I bet my friend from Jersey, who's a big Rutgers guy, has got to be happy with that performance. That guy does not go down on first contact. It's actually insane. I love what I saw from Monangai, and I love what I saw from another rookie on this team who the Bears drafted with their first selection. That's right, 10th overall pick, Colston Loveland had his breakout game. 6 catches, 118 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The first of which came after a penalty was taken by the Bears on a 3rd and goal from the 1 where they handed off to Monangai and he got in. Would have been his only rushing touchdown of the day, but it got taken back, and now it was a 3rd and goal from the 6 where Caleb Williams dialed up a very simple route to Colston Loveland, a perfect pass. Loveland hauls it in for his first score, and man, that one felt pretty good. I'll tell you that much. I mean, I'm more just happy he was able to find the end zone more so than anything. The catch wasn't spectacular. The throw was pretty simple. I mean, it was a very well dialed up play. Both quarterback and tight end did their job, and it made for a routine touchdown catch. But I was just happy to see him get in the end zone. Had a couple more nice catches throughout the game, but then we get to the final drive, which I know I'm kind of bouncing around here, but I really want to set the stage here. The Bears have just allowed 15 points from the Bengals in under a minute to give up the lead without Caleb Williams in that offense touching the football. They let up an onside kick. It was 41-27. It's now 42-41. And the Bears offense goes back out there to try and go and kick a game-winning field goal with under a minute to play. Incompletion, a run for a first down for Caleb Williams. They used their last timeout with about 20 seconds to play. And this is a throw to get them into field goal range to then spike it. But Colston Loveland makes a catch, and I don't know how, he's backing up while making the catch. And he scored. He bounced off a defender, turned it upfield, just kept going straight to the end zone. And the Bears would take a 5-point lead with 17 seconds left, miraculously. It was jaw-dropping seeing him break off of that tackle and race ahead for 6. Because that play was designed to be a deep intermediate pass to get into field goal range and pick up a huge chunk, and then everyone races up to get the spike. Who knows how much time they got, but don't need to worry about it because Loveland was like, I got this. I'm putting the team on my back. And he takes it all the way for 58-yard touchdown. For the offense and Colston Loveland to come through in that moment, I think is bigger than some people think it might be. This team just surrendered a 15-point lead in under a minute, or a 14-point lead in under a minute, to now be trailing because they allowed a 2-point conversion. And now your offense has to go back out there to try and go win the game after your defense has blown it. And to go down there and score a touchdown is nigh unbelievable. I don't know if there was anyone in that building who expected a touchdown in that scenario. I mean, anyone worth their damn thought it was going to be a game-winning field goal scenario, right? The Bears get down in the field goal range and they kick it. Try not give the ball back to the Bengals. But obviously that wasn't the case because Colston Loveland just took it for the score. And that was surreal. That's one of the great moments I've experienced as a Bears fan. And you're like, well, how are you getting so excited over a meaningless Week 9? It's not just that. Stop downplaying the situation, the scenario. Oh my gosh. It's a game-winning touchdown pass after the team had just squandered a 14-point lead to go win. Shouldn't matter who it's against. It's a win. It's just like in the moment, you just forget everything. You forget the week, the record that your team has, the record the other team has. You're just concerned about going out and winning the game. And that's what they did. And then you think about all this afterwards. But the excitement, pure joy I experienced seeing Colston Loveland run behind the Bengals defense after bouncing off a tackle was unmatched. I haven't felt like that in a long time because most of these big wins the Bears have had recently have come on like walk-off field goals. And it's been more just lead the drive down and go kick a game-winning field goal. It's different in this scenario where it's a game-winning touchdown pass when you have just blown a 14-point lead to go rebound. Shows that this team ain't going to quit. So this team improves to 5-3 when their top 2 cornerbacks haven't played together this season. They've played a grand total of 2.5 games. When you've got a brand new head coach, brand new defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. I mean, like, the amount of turnaround in the coaching staff this offseason is unreal. And to still have as high of a turnover margin that they have, to be scoring as many points as they are, to seeing how they're responding when faced with adversity, doesn't matter who the opponent is. It's very refreshing to see this team win these types of games where you're in a shootout or you're a bit of an ugly game. It's tight. One mistake is going to either end up with one team winning or one team losing, and the Bears aren't the ones that are making that game-losing mistake. Though, arguably, you could have said that they made the game-losing mistake with allowing the Bengals to recover an onside kick, but at the end of the day, the Bengals scored too fast for Caleb Williams. A couple other shout-outs before we get out of here. I want to shout out Britton Brown, a guy who is the 4th-string running back on this team who is a backup today because DeAndre Swift's inactive and Roschon Johnson's inactive, getting his first NFL touchdown on a very, very nice play, which, again, this is why we drafted Colston Loveland and not Tyler Warren. Ben Johnson loved the way that Colston Loveland played the position. It wasn't just about catches and touchdowns. It's about the fact that Colston Loveland's coming with a huge block, which springs Britton Brown for that big score to take the lead. Same thing goes for Durham Smythe and Rome Odunze on that play. All 3 of them had really key blocks that freed up that hole for Britton Brown to attack. Gotta love to see that. It's a team effort. Britton Brown's just the one that's going to have that go on a stat sheet, and I couldn't be happier for him coming in as a backup, fourth stringer, still being able to have an impact on this game. Love to see it. I want to shout out Alamin Zacchaeus, who had a nice bounce back game. 6 catches, 58 yards, and that touchdown on the little toss jet sweep. I also want to shout out DJ Moore. Anyone who has criticized DJ Moore over the last month and a half about he doesn't want to play for this team, he doesn't want to play for Caleb Williams, blah, 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 they got to shut up, because the way that DJ Moore was able to play 6 days after getting a bruised rib or whatever, his hip getting destroyed against Washington, is unbelievable. To play in that game against New Orleans, and then to play in this game after taking another hit, which seemed to re-aggravate whatever's going on the hip and the glutes area. Like, to go out and continue to play and show grit, I haven't seen that out of an NFL player, especially a Bears player, for a while. And I love to see it, that he just continues to go out there and be like, I want to play for this team. I'm making an impact. And he did. 4 catches for 72 yards. He rushed for a touchdown, which I think was about like 17 yards. Was a little sketchy, though. Was very scary. He nearly lost it for a turnover touchback type deal, which, man, that would have been killer. But he was able to get the ball across the goal line ever so slightly just before it got knocked out. And then, of course, he had the passing touchdown to Caleb Williams on the 4th and goal double reverse play. That was awesome as well. So he threw for a touchdown and rushed for a touchdown. The only touchdown he didn't score was one typically associated with the position he freaking plays. So gotta love what DJ Moore did today. He picked up some major slack for Rome Odunze, which we might be having a Rome Odunze conversation soon if he can't pick it up a little bit. I mean, dropped 2 passes today, one in the end zone and another one on a trick play. That is brutal. Cannot happen, man. That one stinks. But, again, the other receivers out there did a good job. And Loveland stepped up big time today, because Cole Kmet also went down. He made 1 catch, an onside catch. He got hit pretty hard, was ruled out with a concussion, and they did all this without Luther Burden in as well. And then on the defensive side of the ball, I got to give a huge shout out for C.J. Gardner-Johnson. This team picked him up over the weekend off of the waiver wire or whatever. Hey, first game and as a slot corner against a tough receiving core. Not bad. He picked up a sack as well. Had 6 total tackles. I mean, he had a nice game. The 1 touchdown he was beat on, I mean, that was just a perfect throw from Joe Flacco and great hands from T. Higgins. That's great coverage from C.J. Gardner-Johnson against most other receivers in the league and most other quarterbacks in the league. That's not getting caught for a touchdown. So I'm not going to hold that too much against him. We'll see if he can pick up some slack that we're going to be missing from Kyler Gordon in that slot corner area here, because his presence was felt today. And of course, I got to give a shout out again to Tremaine Edmonds. He had the pick, nearly had the pick 6. Chase Brown somehow got fingertips on Edmonds as he's falling down to the ground as he makes that pick. He doesn't touch him while he's actually on the ground, as Edmonds then scurries for the long score. But apparently, the rule's the rule. He's touchdown on contact. That sucks, but it's still a pick nonetheless. Tremaine Edmonds has had a nice season, a very nice bounce-back season. He's heard a lot of criticism in the offseason. I really like what I'm seeing from him. And then Montez Sweat didn't have a terrible game. I mean, it wasn't great. He got a sack, nearly had a forced fumble. That would have been huge. But they ruled the pass incomplete, and I also just was a little upset because I really want to see an Andrew Billings fumble recovery. God, I love Andrew Billings. I don't care how bad he plays. He's just he's always just so fun to watch on the football field. I don't know what it is about Billings. But I want to give a massive shout out to Austin Booker. It's his first game of the season, and he came through in a big way. A strip sack late in the second half, which gave the Bears the football, up a score. Man, I love to see that. Austin Booker just get off me to Orlando Brown. Just denies him any sort of chance of blocking him, and he goes right to Joe Flacco and is able to knock it out. Flacco did kind of drop the ball, but still, a sack ends up being a strip sack for Austin Booker. Love to see it. Dexter with the fumble recovery. Oh my gosh, penalties were brutal for both sides. Both teams took brutal penalties. The Bengals took more that actually cost them some points, because Cairo Santos missed a field goal in the first half, or in the first quarter, but the Bengals were called for offsides. It was 4th and 6. It's now 4th and 1. The Bears go for it. They get it. And as the quarter ends, the first play of the second quarter is a touchdown. So it cost the Bengals 7 points. And then they had an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty when the team got down inside the 5 on a Jamar Chase catch and run, which then they were forced to settle for a field goal. So they had a couple of really costly penalties that cost them points in this game. And that was brutal because of how close this game was towards the end. But, hey, things happen. You can't let those types of things happen. And A, and B, you can't let them matter at the end of the game because that is 7 points to the Bears, and it's 4 points off the board for the Bengals when it comes to what those 2 penalties did. That's a huge swing. So obviously the defense has got to play a lot better. Stevenson didn't have a great game. Gardner Johnson had a couple of nice moments, but he also was letting some things get by. Nashawn Wright was targeted all day long, and I mean, the guy did all he could to try and stop T. Higgins late in the first half. He probably, interfered with him, but T. Higgins is just that dude, and he stole it for a score. And then Kevin Byard and Jaquan Brisker were playing some soft coverage, and guys were beating him over the top. The passing off, the defense was terrible in this game as a unit. Yeah, there was some trickery today from Ben Johnson's offense. 3 other guys besides Caleb Williams threw passes. Cole Kmet early in the game, which was a good ball to Rome Odunze. He just couldn't hold on to the ball. My God, hold on to the ball. DJ Moore had the double reverse touchdown pass to Caleb Williams. And then Tyson Bagent came in right after, if I'm correct, it was right after the Booker strip sack. And Caleb Williams throws it behind to Bagent, who then throws it back across the field to Caleb Williams, and he turns it up for 20 yards. I mean, that was kind of ridiculous. He was reaching to the bag of tricks a little bit today, but it was a very nice game plan to attack a bad Bengals defense. And a really good game plan for more than just the fact that there were some trick plays. It was a really balanced attack. Both the rushing and passing offense had over 250 yards of total offense. The Bears as a team had over 500. It was so fun to watch this offense. I was nervous going into this because I knew that they had some red zone struggles. I knew that they had struggled offensively the last couple of games. There were plenty of moments where it's like, good to get down into opposing teams' territory, but you can't punch them in for touchdowns. They scored 6 offensive touchdowns in this game. There was 1 red zone possession where they did not score a touchdown, and it was a field goal. And I want to say that I think they were 4 for 6 in the red zone, so I forget exactly how the other one didn't end up scoring a touchdown, but they were much better in the red zone today. It led to a lot of points. The offense was really efficient against a bad defense, which is what they should be doing. And now they get the Giants next, who also have not played very well recently, and they're without their top running back and their top receiver. Scatterboo and Neighbors are out, probably for the rest of the year. So this is a huge break for them as this team's starting to kind of feel itself a little bit, even though they're like 2-7. The Giants are still like not. I feel like they might be on the up next year when Neighbors is healthy and when Scatterboo's back in the lineup again. But you cannot let Jackson Dart beat you through the air, make him panic and throw a couple picks maybe even. You're at home, get it done, and get to 6-3 before the real hard part of the schedule comes in. 2 final general notes for you I'm going to pull up my phone for. From Brad Biggs, the Bears had 576 yards of offense today, the 6th most in club history. Hard to believe that's the 6th most. It's the most since they had 594 in a 61-7 victory over the Green Bay Packers on December 7th, 1980. It's been over 45 years since the Bears have put up this many yards. That's pretty crazy. But on the inverse, the Cincinnati Bengals had a kickoff return for a touchdown, a blocked field goal, an onside kick recovery, 500 yards of offense, 2 wide receivers with 100-plus receiving yards, 15 points scored in under a minute to take the lead, 42 total points scored, and they lost. I mean, at some point, you got to feel for the Bengals, man. They just cannot stop losing these shootouts. It feels like they're on the losing end of almost every big shootout, and that is just brutal. So that's it. What a ridiculous game. I mean, I still can't believe that happened. It's really not going to hit until tomorrow or Tuesday, probably. One of the craziest Bears games I've ever watched. That was insane. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Hit the subscribe button if you really liked it. Please keep the conversation going down in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel about a Bears shootout win and what in the world did we just witness. Without further ado, see you in the next one. Take care.